everybody. This is Heroes and Brews with Nerdy Dudes. We are your friendly neighborhood Beeroes Ty
and Kevin.
And we are doing something different today. If you haven't noticed, we do have comics in front of us because we are doing our first installment of Yo! Check this comic. What? Come on.
What is it called?
Check this comic out.
Yo, check this comic out?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry. I'm going to hide behind you.
It's alright. Kevin just ruined my whole vibe. Whatever.
Sorry.
We'll let him pass.
I'm sorry.
So,
I thought I knew what it was called.
It's alright. You even named this.
I even named it.
He named this.
I don't know.
Anyway.
He's probably drinking.
So, what we're going to do is we're going to pick comics that we want you guys to go check out. It's probably comics you guys have checked out before because some of these are really popular. Maybe not.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's our first installment, so we don't know. Maybe we'll pick some random comic that you never heard of to go check it out.
Yeah.
I don't know, Kev, do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first with these comics? Or
You go first, man.
So,
yeah.
I got The Killing Joke in front of me, which last year or 2 years ago? I think it was 2 years ago. 2 years ago, they had the animated movie come out for The Killing Joke.
Yeah.
And I was never big into comics when I was younger. I had like random like Pokemon comics and some random like Batman stuff, but I was never really big into like the graphic novels and stuff like that. Especially growing up, I wasn't like a big reader. I was more into video games. I liked playing the Spider-Man for Nintendo 64. I liked playing, I'm trying to think, the Arkham series, the fighting games, Injustice, Superman. There's all those games, but I never really like dove into comics. And when it was announced that The Killing Joke was coming out to animated, Kev was like, yo, you gotta read the graphic novel. And I picked it up at Comic-Con when we went 4 years ago.
Holy shit, was it really then?
I think it was 4 years ago.
Oh my god.
It was a while ago.
Yeah, it was.
Maybe it was could have been 3 years ago. And I picked up the graphic novel and I read it and I'm like, this was awesome. And it was before I watched the animated movie, and it got me hooked. Like, I started grabbing... I read a lot of the Green Arrow, New 52, Green Arrow Rebirth, all the Injustice comics I've been reading, Dark Knight Metals, which has been awesome. I have to finish it still, but I've gone through most of it. The Red Hood and the Outlaws for the Rebirth has been phenomenal. I've read that. But this graphic novel here, literally, and Kevin, right here, pushed me to start reading comics. And it's something that I'm glad I got pushed into, you know? Well, not really pushed into, but it's... Because this itself, it's the story of the Joker origin story, right? He was the Red Hood, fell into the vat of, I guess, poison. And he brings... he shoots Barbara Gordon, paralyzes her, makes her Oracle, takes Commissioner Gordon to his, like, circus of... I guess, pain. And he's like naked and tied up and trying to make him crazy. And it's like Batman's like encounter with the Joker, you know? And it just flashes back to his first encounter when he was wearing the Red Hood mask when he fell into the vat. It's a really good like origin story. And if you haven't read it, you should go read it because this literally propelled me into reading comics.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's a classic story, man. And you know, I think What's great about it is a lot of people have said what makes the Joker so threatening is that he doesn't have an origin story. Yeah. You don't know where he comes from. But I think it's cool. I think with comics, I think it's different from films. Even though I know we have this Joaquin Phoenix origin story Joker movie coming out, which I'm very excited for.
Cool. Yeah.
And I'm just interested to see what they're going to do. But this is Alan Moore's take on how he envisioned, the way the Joker became the Joker. He's a stand-up comedian he's just trying to make ends meet for him and his family. He ends up meeting, the
wrong
people, and they end up tricking him into, becoming the Red Hood.
Yep.
At that time, and basically he meets Batman and falls into the vat of acid. And I know, like, I believe, Tim Burton had a lot of inspiration for his 1989 film. And, Batman made the Joker. Joker made Batman. I mean, in the Tim Burton movie, because apparently the character of Jack Napier murdered his parents, Bruce Wayne's parents, blah, blah, blah. But it's just a very classic book. There's a lot of very classic moments in that.
Yeah.
The way that the book ends, and I don't want to spoil it for anybody.
Don't.
But there's a conversation between the Joker and Batman that is very iconic.
Yeah.
Yes, and I don't want to give it away, but I think you should read it if you haven't.
Yes.
And it's a very enjoyable book.
And if you don't like reading, you can always watch the animated movie. But
I
advise you.
I recommend reading this first. I mean, the animated film was good.
Yeah.
But I recommend reading the graphic novel before anything, because it's one of those staple Batman into that Batman lore, So
yeah,
absolutely.
Kev?
So my turn. So these are two comics that I was obsessed with, and I still am obsessed with, and I think I'm actually going to reread them when we're done this. So I believe this was part of the New 52 that came out a few years ago. It's Batman Earth 1 series, Volume 1 and 2. These Earth 1 series, I believe they did a series for Superman, they did a series for Wonder Woman. I don't know if they did any others. I don't know if they did a Green Lantern or a Flash. I don't think so. They may have just done the Trinity.
Yeah.
But what's really cool is this New 52, when they had their release of their comics, these Earth 1 series, where it was cool. It was almost like it was kind of a branch off of what the New 52 were doing. They were like, hey, they're doing this. This is part of this New 52 series we're doing. But hey, these are like different, like new origin stories for these heroes that you're familiar with. And what's cool is, so for Earth 1, and they're both written by Jeff Johns, and I think Gary Frank is on both of them as well. First off, the books themselves are fantastic. I mean, they're these hardback books. The illustrations are absolutely...
I love the cover of Volume 1.
Absolutely incredible. I forgot the Penguin was in this one. But what's really cool is, so for example, in Earth 1, Volume 1, it brings a new origin story in a way to Batman. Also, what's really cool about these is we're so used to Batman in the comics, when he has the cowl on, he has white eyes. In these, his eyes are visible. Cool. You can actually see his pupils, which is kind of crazy. His suit is very what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of...
I'm just going to help out. I haven't read these yet.
Homemade. His cowl is very homemade looking. You can see the stitches almost in it. And there's no like eye black. You just literally have his cowl. You could see his skin and his eyes. Yeah. And it was really crazy. We've never seen that before. But what's cool is in this is what I liked about it is I don't know if the Gotham series borrowed from this. This focuses on not Bruce Wayne traveling the country, learning the mind of a criminal and learning how to learning all these different fighting styles. Alfred teaches him.
I like that,
and it's really sick. And I loved it. And Jeff Johns is a brilliant comic book writer. The way that he writes both of these volumes, it reads like a script. It reads like a movie. And frame by frame, I just remember reading Volume 1 and reading it and going, oh my God, like everything just kind of plays out like a film.
Yeah.
It's really cool. Like I could see this they're each like an hour and a half long film. And that's why I love them so much. I mean, there's many reasons why I love them. But basically Alfred, the Waynes had said if they ever passed away that Alfred would take over, and Alfred was this ex-military guy.
Yeah. And
I believe he's kind of hesitant at first to basically to basically become the parent of Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
But he ends up teaching Bruce how to defend himself. So that's how Bruce learns how to fight. And I thought that was really, really cool.
Yeah.
I've always liked the relationship between Alfred and Bruce.
But it puts a new spin on it.
It does.
Yeah.
And I like seeing Alfred as a badass.
So do I. Especially in Gotham, the Gotham TV series. He was that badass teaching him how to fight and defend himself.
That's what this is.
Yeah.
And what's cool also is there's a part in the comic where Batman's making mistakes. Batman is using his grapple and he's falling and he's getting injured and he's just like, I'm trying to do this, but I don't know what I'm doing yet. We've never seen that like vulnerability. We've always seen like Batman's just like, I've got my shit together, I know what I'm doing. And this is a whole different origin story. It's really, really cool. This other one, briefly, Volume 2 introduces the Riddler. Brilliant introduction. The way this comic starts, it starts as if I could see this as a film. It starts with a group of people in an elevator, and the elevator stops, and the Riddler had controlled this elevator and basically gives them a riddle, and if they don't make it, he's going to kill all of them. That's how the books... It doesn't even start with Batman. It starts with the Riddler. So I could see that as a film, starting with, like, you introduce the Riddler. Croc is also introduced in this, and the use of Croc... You almost feel sorry for him. Yeah. And I love this interpretation of Croc. Suicide Squad. You should have read this. But Batman faces Croc in this, and you feel sorry for Croc and what he has gone through. These are just two very brilliant books that I don't hear a lot about, and I just think they're really great reads as Batman fans. That like you kind of know... You're familiar with the canon of everything else. These are two other books that are separate from that. I suggest picking them up.
I might steal them from you.
Because to me, they almost seem like... To me, films are like an Elseworld to like comics.
Yes.
And these are comics that are Elseworld to the rest of the comics, if that makes any kind of sense.
Yeah, 100%. So
I see these two as movies that I'm reading.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say. Is these are two films... that you're literally just reading the scripts. It's really, really cool. They are such good books. I can't recommend them enough.
Well, you killed that. You should definitely check out those.
Oh my god, they're so good.
I'm about to check them out right now.
They're so good.
About the next 2 hours, and you can watch me read it.
Yeah.
So check out Batman Earth 1. Check out The Killing Joke.
Yes. Definitely check this out as well.
If you have read both of these, or one of these, or 3 of these, let us know your thoughts. Also, if you haven't and you're going to check it out because of us, please let us know. We want to know what you guys think of all these books because they are all very good. I can't wait to read these, especially just your interpretation of all this stuff.
Oh, they're so good, man.
So excited to
They're so good.
Those.
Yep.
But as always, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit all those buttons, all that fun stuff. As always, thank you for watching.
Thank you, guys. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers. Hey, guys, don't forget to use our promo code ONTOVOR. Beeroes. It's BEEROES.
This app Tavor will open up your world to all these different craft beers that you never even knew existed. If you download the app, you may find your next favorite beer that isn't even in your area. It could be from Iowa. It could be from Texas.
Hawaii.
Who knows? Hawaii. Check it out. Check it out, guys. You won't be disappointed.